Hey, Tony guys here popping in. Now listen, your virtual life coach this year, as you know, videos will be all over, meaning just covering life, love, business. One things I realize is that most of us don't have a mentor. Most of us don't have a coach. And a lot of times it doesn't fit in the budget when you want to hire someone that you feel you can learn from. And sometimes those individuals don't have somewhere online that you can go and you can be fed. And so that's why I'll be doing these type of videos covering life, love, business, and so on, just in case, because as I'm building my business, I don't have a mentor. And sometimes you hear people say, be who you wish you had. And so understand that. Don't just expect all relationship videos, because it comes a time it's almost like you are just kind of swinging in the dark. And it's so much more to life than just relationships. So you got to get to a place to where you understand you need to build yourself fully. And even if you're trying to heal from something that broke you, it still does not mean you should only be focusing on relationship knowledge. You should be focusing on your health, your wealth, progressing in life in every area. And those things in turn bring healing. So understand that. And this year, 2023, it's a new year, it's a new opportunity to get better, to grow. And we have to come to a place where we are comfortable being uncomfortable, and we are comfortable with growing and excelling and pushing ourselves to the next level and doing what we don't feel like doing. And we also have to be comfortable having the distance or the friction that we will have with the people around us, the people in our life, because not everyone marches to the same beat. Not everyone moves at the same pace. And so often we slow down or we shrink ourselves trying to fit in with those around us. And this could be a family member, a coworker, a friend, a lover, anything, sibling, a parent. We will slow ourselves down and we adapt and we become like who we are around. My mom and dad used to say growing up, hey, you'll be like who you be around. And I didn't really understand it. And they had been told that growing up. And as I start to think about it, I'm like, wow, you know what? That's real. You'll be like who you be around. And if you're not around anybody, then you're gonna be like who you are watching or listening to. And we have to come to that place where we really start to define who we are and who we want to be, what we want to accomplish, and then creating the plan of how am I going to get there. And it's not going to be easy, but as long as you are putting in the work and you are diligent and you're dedicated to learning and to growing and pushing your life forward, then you're going to see results. And a lot of times it just takes that one thing. It takes that one thing a day that you're doing that's changing your life, because we see what we want and we set this goal, and the goal may be grandiose. It may be, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. And losing 20 pounds is as simple as choosing the right thing for breakfast, choosing the right thing for lunch, choosing the right thing for dinner. And if you have a snack in between your meals, choosing the right snack and then working out that day in a way that it's really going to push you, but also allow you to be able to work out in some form the next day. Or if you take the next day off and then you're going to work out the day after, But instead of looking at a 20-pound goal, if you look at a daily goal, what am I eating today? What am I drinking today? What time am I going to bed? What time am I working out? And if you just win that day and you do what you're supposed to do that day, and then you go to sleep, you wake up and you repeat. Now, when you get on the scale, not the next day, but when you get on the scale in 2 weeks, you may see the difference. You're going to see the difference. And then you get on the scale 2 weeks after that, you're going to see the difference. But what happens is we say, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. And then we have a great day. And then we get on the scale tomorrow and we're the same weight. Or you put on a pound. And it could have been just because of the amount of water that you were holding and your body just getting used to this new regimen. But you're like, whoa, what's going on? And then you go down, you go up, you go down, your body just adjusting. But on day 7, if you really haven't seen the 5-pound drop that you've seen in your past, when you lost 5 pounds and then gained 10, you forgot about the 10 you gained. You just remembered the 5 you lost. And so after 7 days, when you don't see that 5-pound drop and you just lost 2 pounds, it's demoralizing and you quit. And this is what we have to get past. For every one of us, there is a next level. There's a next level in life that's calling our names. And we can get there if we're willing to do the work. But our past is also calling us just as loud, if not louder, than our future. And when your past is calling you back to the pain, back to the trauma, back to the bad eating habits, back to the bad social habits. Your past is calling you to that because it's comfortable. And your brain doesn't want to change. Your body doesn't want to change, meaning you have learned a way to function. Stress, release those chemicals. Worry, release those chemicals. Binge eat, release those chemicals. Binge TV, release those chemicals. Drink till you feel drunk, release those chemicals. Pass out. Wake up, do it all over. Whatever your habits are that gets you into that place, gets you into that mode of comfort, no matter how bad the habits are, your body, your brain learns to function in that way. It learns to need those things. It says, hey, you ain't had your cocaine today. You ain't had your alcohol today. You ain't had your coffee today. You ain't had your weed today. You ain't had your orgasm today. Whatever it is that you become dependent upon, it takes and it starts to run your life. It starts to run your life and it starts to ruin your life. And you need to be aware of that. And you have to look at the long-term effects of the things you're doing. And when you start to make progress, there's going to be people who try to hold you back. And you may have a coworker, and I'm using outlandish examples, but break it down to your example, and because it could be anything. You may have a coworker who she specializes in drinking vodka soda while she's working, and it gives her a little buzz. She get her a little high. She be working, and you found out, y'all talked about it, so she bring you a little bottle. But you know it ain't healthy for you to be drinking, even though you just sipping 8 hours a day. And so you finna cut it out and you going with all water. When you say, no, I don't want it today. Oh, okay, new year, new you. All right, go ahead then. And then next week it got a little splash in it, little strawberry grenadine. And you wondering why she keeps asking you, hey, do you want this sandwich that I brought you? This lasagna I made last night, this vodka soda, this vape, this cigarette, whatever it may be that you are trying to get over, you're going to have somebody keep offering it to you, trying to trip you up. Because nobody likes to see you progressing when they are staying the same or going backward. Nobody likes that. I also want you to understand that your blessings and your growth is for you. Nobody's happy for you. And I know that sounds doom and gloom, but you got to really understand humans. You got to study humans. You may say, well, Tony, I'm happy for people. I'm happy for people. Congratulations. You know, do you want a cookie? And I really want you to analyze that. And I want you to think about, are you always happy for people? Is happiness the first feeling that you feel? Not in the comment section, but where you could get praise and adulation for being somebody who's happy for people and nobody knows you and nobody believes you. We're not talking about showing out in the comments. I'm talking about as a human being, when you are single and you are crying out to God to send you your spouse, and you go online and you see all of your friends from high school or college getting married, are you telling me that the first feeling you feel is overwhelming happiness for them? When you are pinching pennies and you're trying to budget and you're trying to make ends meet, and you go online and you see people at fancy restaurants and traveling the world, are you telling me that the first feeling you feel is overwhelming happiness? You may flip the switch and tell yourself and say out loud, I'm happy for them. I'm happy. Yes, go ahead. Lord, I see what you've done for others. Please do it for me. You may flip the switch, but it ain't the first feeling you feel. As humans, we have to channel inspiration. We have to channel motivation because our disposition is competition. Our disposition is to desire an advantage. That's our disposition. And we have to understand that. And once you understand that, now you're able to reframe your mind and say, you know what? God bless them. God bless them. Go ahead. God bless you. And then you're able to process that your grass has some snakes in it, or it's dying in certain areas. The sprinkler heads have been broken in certain areas. The water ain't spraying like it's supposed to. So you have now the wisdom to know that your grass is not perfect. So then you can assume, or you can guesstimate what may be going on in their grass. And this is what I had to start doing in my mind. If I see a gentleman who looks like he has it all, looks like he's doing everything, I start to be realistic and say, okay, if I was in that position, what type of challenges? Because if you're doing anything good, you're going to be challenged. What type of challenges would I be facing? Man. Okay. Yeah, that's a little hard there. Yeah, that's a little tough. That one a little tough. That one, I could possibly fail that one. You know what, Lord? After second thought, thank you for everything that I am, for everything that I have, and for exactly where I am. Thank you. Because I don't want that. It looked good on Instagram, But as I thought about it, I don't want that. And so I want you to understand that that is a level of maturity that you've gotten to or that you're getting to. And that is not common. It's not common to be able to rationalize and to revert back to gratitude instead of jealousy. That's not common. So, what you have to understand is that when you go and you show all of your blessings online and you tell somebody all of your blessings and everything that's happening in your life, no one is happy for you. And on top of that, it makes them feel worse about their life. And so that's another thing is in 2023, you need to understand that your blessings are for you. And if people see it, they feel it, they sense it, then great. Okay, cool. But don't make a habit of going and boasting and bragging, like going to show someone. Because listen to me, even your parent and even your sibling will be jealous. And we have seen that. We saw it with Cain and Abel. Those were siblings. You the only two siblings on the face of the earth right now. How are you jealous of your brother? Who smaller than you, younger than you? Like, how are you jealous of your brother? But that is human nature. You see parents jealous of their child because the parents say, hey, I sacrificed. I raised you. I'm the reason you had the life you had. I'm the reason you was able to get that degree. And now you living up, you all in Paris. And I'm over here in Paramore. Now by next to right in the hood. And you in Paris. You can't afford to take me with you? And you like, no, I can't afford to take you. I barely can afford for me to go, but I just have committed to saying I'm going to see the world because tomorrow is not promised. So I'm going to max it out. And your parent like, well, you shouldn't go if you can't afford to take somebody with you. It ain't even smart to be solo traveling, as y'all call it. And you like, whoa, by the time I can afford somebody to go with me, who's to say I'm going to live that long? And how do I know that day is ever going to come? I don't know what God going to do, but I know I can afford to get over there. And I'm moving wisely. I'm in the daylight, my head on a swivel. I got me some mace on my hip. And now you are defending your blessings. That's human nature. So I want you to understand that. Focus on yourself. Focus on your responsibilities, meaning if you have children, if you have a spouse, they are also your responsibilities. Focus on your goals. Focus on your 3 B's. Your brain, your brand, and your body. Keep feeding your mind. That's the brain. Keep growing in your faith. That's the brain. Keep getting the knowledge. That's the brain. The brand. Start something that you cannot be fired from. If that's a blog, if it's a t-shirt line, if it's a cooking business, if it's a cleaning business, start something you cannot be fired from and market it relentlessly. If that means printing up 1,000 business cards and handing out 1,000 business cards to 1,000 people, out of those 1,000 people, 10 of them going to give you a call. Listen to me. And that's business. And if you do an amazing job for those 10 people are going to tell somebody. So now they're going to bring you another 10 or 20 or 30. 10 can quickly turn into 30 referrals. But that's how you got to think. Don't say, hey, I'm going to start this business, and then you're not marketing it, and then you're wondering why it's not doing anything. It's because you're not pounding the pavement. It's because you're expecting to just make social media work, and social media may not work. So you may need to go back and be old school and print up some cards some flyers or some brochures and go hand it out in a place that you're allowed to hand it out. And you could wait the people about to get in their car so you know that they're not going to toss it in the next trash can they pass. You can Google direct mail and see how much that costs to have your mailer sent out to their house, right into their mailbox. Whatever you need to do, you need to do it. Go kiss up with the manager. I ain't saying sleep with the manager at the apartment complex and see, can you put it in the mailboxes, or can you pay the apartment complex a little something to put it in the mailbox, or can you hand it out or leave it in the front office? Go to the barbershops, to the corner stores, your bodegas or whatever they call, and ask the owner, can you set it right there on the counter and shoot him $100? And then you go back in there the next day to make sure he still got him there. And you check in 2 days later to make sure he's got him there and he ain't just taking your $100. And if he got others there, then you know he don't charge. Then ask him, can you put yours there? Put yours there. You need to Google colors that pop, colors that sell. So if it say green and blue, or if it say red and black, then your car is popping. So when you set it on that counter, you know if somebody walk over there, yours gonna jump off the table because of your color scheme. You done your research on Google. So now you marketing out of the box. You grassroots, you digital, you doing all you have to do, and there go your brand. And then your body, you gotta be relentless and you gotta be intelligent. So don't just get caught up in a fad diet that you're gonna lose 10 pounds and then put on 20, 30, 40. Instead, be okay with very little gains. Be okay going slow. Be okay every day waking up, getting on the scale and have lost 0.1 or 0.2 pounds. Invest in that scale. I think mine called InBody, INBODY, to where it got the body mass index on there. It got your total fat, your total muscle. It got, you put your height in there and it tell you your weight. And you stand on there with your bare feet and you hold the little things in your hand and you pressing with your thumbs and it give you a little calculation. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but it seemed like it is. And then you go into your day, you eating right, you drinking right, you doing what you're supposed to do. If you need to hire a dietitian, if you need to hire a trainer, you don't have to, if it's not in the budget, you don't have to keep them forever. You get them for a month. Everything they give you, you write it down, you keep it, you learn it. So now you know, okay, this is what they do. So this is what I do. I can't afford them next month, but I got an idea. I got a plan now. I know I need to be eating like this. I need to be working out like this. I need to be sleeping like this. And now you working on your body. And I'll be honest with you, for a lot of people, the body becomes the last part. Some people, their body perfect. It's already where it need to be, and they need to work on their brains. They got all this body and no brains. They ain't got no street sense. They ain't got no common sense. They ain't got no relationship knowledge. They ain't got no business knowledge. But the body is amazing. But for most people, the body is the last part. I meet, for most single women that I meet, it's just not competitive. They're just not competitive in the world solely because of their body. Because a man is a visual creature. So when he walk past you on the street, he can't see how amazing your mindset is. He can't see how amazing your walk with God is. All he can see is your face and your body. And if he's not attracted to you because you're out of season, meaning you're not in your bag, you're not in your season, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And the same for a man. If a woman is, she ready for her husband and she has done her work, and you walking past this woman and you got, your body is out of whack, she gonna, on her list is a man who is fit. And if you're not there, you could be an amazing man, but that take time to find out. So the first component is physical attraction. Unfortunately, it's physical attraction. And a lot of people, that's the last thing in there, because there are people who say, listen, if you can't take care of you, like your body, meaning your hygiene and how you carry you, then I can't trust you over my life, like over my business, or I can't trust you. If you can't take care of you, how can I trust that you really gonna have me? And that's the painful thing that make us want to shut these videos off, make us mad. Like, when we hear about the areas we need to work on, it is not comfortable. It is not comfortable. But we got to realize it, and we got to be honest with ourselves, and we have to do the work. So I want you to think about this. I want you to get this in your spirit and identify what you need to do. Now, if you've come to this point, I'm gonna make if you missed the 2023 class, I'm gonna make the replay available. And we had a great time. We had over 200 people on the live. Y'all forgive me for that loud noise. We had over 200 people on the live, and it was a good class. We did about 4 hours total, and we had some breaks. And the recordings have been uploaded into the academy. So when you sign up, then you will be able, and on the class, it is some little bonuses in there. So if you listen to all of it, there's some little bonuses in there that you'll get if you get in there today. If you see this, what is this, January 2nd? If you see this later, then you may have missed it. If you see this like after January 6th or 7th or something. No, I think one of the bonuses is good until January 30th. So I'm going in here just while I'm talking to you to make sure I do what I said I'm gonna do, and open up the replay for purchase. So I have this on here, and the reason why I'm sharing is because we did this, and this is very important. This was a very important class, and it helps you kick off your year the right way. And it was practical. It wasn't just me sitting and talking. It was real actionable steps. We did some exercises where you writing. So one of the biggest things, and not just with me, I'm not saying this just with me, but one of the biggest things that you're going to do in your life is invest in yourself. But so many of us, so often we're broke minded and we're scarcity minded, and we'll tell ourselves, I don't have the money for this, but then we'll find ourselves paying money on this. And then this over here is not adding to us. It's not taking us any further, but yet we'll spend the money on it. And I learned that even in my own life, that has been true. I have debt that I need to pay off, and I say, I ain't got it for that debt right now. That debt could wait. And then I'll go to the store and shop and buy something that I don't even really need. And I'm like, oh man, what in the world am I doing? Like, that money could have just knocked out a good amount of debt. And here I am spending it on this. So let me see. Go seminar. Replay. Do this. Alright. And so the replay is available. Okay, there you have it. And in there as well, I gave another bonus for one-on-one, but you have to hear it and hear the instructions with it. So if you didn't take that class, then it's TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. I've set it up for you so you can get that. God bless you. Great talking to you. We'll talk soon.